Hello there, welcome back to our Sydney Proactive studio. Heading west now to talk to Adrian Griffin in our Perth studio. He's the Managing Director of Lithium Australia. Hi Adrian, good to see you again. It's been a while.
Thanks Karen, it has indeed.
Your company's been very productive and very busy on a number of fronts, and there's a lot that you're producing, very productive. But one of particular interest today to discuss is the recycling of lithium from spent batteries that you're working on. Tell us about this project and how significant it is.
Well, first of all, I think you need to appreciate the appalling record that Australia has in recycling. Probably not news, but if you look at lithium batteries, the recycling rate's less than 3% in Australia. So what we're doing is taking raw materials from Australia, exporting them, having batteries produced, bring them back to Australia, use them and then throw them away. And there's an enormous amount of metal tied up in those batteries. On a global basis, about 9% of them get recycled. And under all circumstances, it's done without recovering the lithium. So we've been looking at an environmentally effective way of doing that and recovering all the metals, including the lithium. So that's lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and so on. And we've effectively done that. We've achieved very good recoveries of lithium. We've precipitated that as an unusual chemical, lithium phosphate. And you might ask, why would we do that? Well, that gives you a direct feed back into lithium ferrophosphate batteries, LFP. And they're the best batteries available for energy storage applications, and particularly in the Australian environment. So we've produced that lithium phosphate at very high purity levels, greater than 98%, and we are currently producing LFP batteries out of that material. And that closes the loop, so it goes from the mining through to the batteries, out to waste materials, and then recover the metals from those waste materials and produce new batteries.
That sounds like an amazing initiative. How, what's the quality of the recycled batteries, I guess people will want to know?
Well, we've done it previously with recycled materials, and we've recycled mine waste and made LFP batteries, very successfully I might add. We're yet to test the new batteries we've made from the recycled materials, but we anticipate getting the same results that we've had in the past. And surprisingly, somewhat, that's better than buying new reagents such as lithium hydroxide to make the batteries.
Wow. And is there a particular appliance for these recycled batteries in particular, or they can just be used for general use as were the original batteries?
Oh, indeed, general use. But as I mentioned, we're focused very much on LFP battery chemistry and looking at providing energy solutions for people on edge of grid and remote applications. So provide an energy storage application, energy management application where other alternatives are very expensive.
Amazing. And is this done anywhere else in the world, or is it actually leading in its area at the moment? Because it sounds quite new and different and very, great for the environment, obviously.
Oh yeah, well certainly we're leading the world in terms of lithium recycling because no one else is doing it. There is one exception in South Korea that recycles a small amount, but on a global basis you may as well say the recycling of lithium is zero. So this is a big step forward, not only for the battery industry but for the environment. If you recycle those materials, of course, you reduce your energy footprint, your carbon footprint enormously. So the industry, and I guess society at large, simply have to adopt these practices and recycle.
Yeah, that's a wonderful initiative. Well done on that front. We've also, I understand you've been working on recovering lithium from fine spodumene. Tell us about that project and what that means.
Yeah, well, the background of that is looking at lithium deportment from the spodumene producers, the companies that produce spodumene concentrates, primarily in Australia. And if you look at the recovery of those materials, the recovery is only about 50 to perhaps 70% at best. And the rest of the material, so something like half of the lithium, is being discharged and pumped into tailings dams. And you've got to ask the question, why is that the case? And the reason behind that is the lithium contained in that material is too fine to process with conventional converters. The conversion is done currently in China. There are refineries being built in Australia, but the Australian refinery is going to suffer from the same problem. they're not designed to take fine material. So we've looked at an alternative to processing that, and we have recovered the lithium. And we have recovered that lithium initially as lithium phosphate because we just love lithium ferrophosphate, LFP batteries, and we see that as a direct feed, taking out a number of process steps. So we've recovered it initially as lithium phosphate, but we can process that material and produce lithium sulfate, lithium hydroxide, lithium chloride, and that can all be done in the same refinery. So it's a very efficient process.
Sounds, yeah, just wonderful innovations and really good work for your company. So that's a great update today. You've obviously been beavering away, working away at these great initiatives. So thanks so much for popping by and updating us today. And we look forward to hearing more of your outcomes and your innovations as the rest of the year unfolds.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Thank you. That's Adrian Griffin from Lithium Australia.